Welcome to the Wrestling Stone Cold Podcast. My name is Cam. That's Mark.
Hey, y'all doing? Thanks y'all for joining in.
Before we jump into it, you can follow us on Twitter at WrestlingSCool, and you can take over with the rest of these socials.
Instagram at Wrestling Still Cool. Facebook Wrestling Still Cool. You get emails WrestlingStillCool@gmail.com, and also on TikTok. We're on a Wrestling Still Cool 90.
Right. So we're recording this on the 1st of January of 2021. Now 2020 is officially behind us. And one of the biggest stories to come out of the wrestling is the passing of Brodie Lee. If I remember correctly, he passed away on December 26th, just past Christmas, to a lung issue unrelated to COVID is what's being reported currently.
Sad situation.
It absolutely is. And from everything that we've been seeing on social media, there has been a negative word said about him. People from every company nearly has spoken positively about Brodie Lee, Jon Huber, Luke Harper, however you might know him. I mean, people he's even wrestled against. And weirdly enough, because of this, I've noticed some wrestling YouTubers have also been reviewing matches of his almost specifically, including the Elimination Chamber match of the Wyatt family versus the New Day from 2014.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it too.
I know Raw did something for him. AEW definitely did something for him. Impact even had a little banner of a rest in peace, Jon Huber.
Wow.
I don't recall if NXT did. I can't remember. And I think SmackDown did before tonight's episode. I didn't watch tonight's episode, but I believe I saw it on social media that they did something.
Yeah, I haven't got to watch SmackDown yet, and we missed out on Impact Wrestling this week. So
yeah,
I'm sure they all done something to pay tribute to Jon Huber, aka Luke Harper. Well, obviously they had a tribute show and Dynamite, as you say, very beautiful tribute show. But go ahead with saying.
It amazes me how much this was kept under wraps because I guess it's been going on for a couple months.
Yeah, I was interested in that. I was starting looking around some research a little bit on what I guess I said word didn't go out. I believe it was his Jon Huber's wife and Brodie Lee's wife didn't wanted out, and I respect that. He had some lung issues for a while, and it just got worse as time went on. From what I understand, and from what I understand from Tony Schiavone, I guess they were called for a emergency Zoom meeting. I think it was, and that's how all the employees of AEW was informed that he passed on. But that's all I know about it.
And with that said about his wife, this is kind of going out to the I don't want to call him dirt sheet, but the wrestling journalist. Don't be a shitty person, and don't throw her under the bus that says that she was trying to hide something. That's completely uncalled for.
Oh, by far. Did you hear that they said that yet? Or
Yeah. I can't remember which one it was, but there was something that came out where, like, Miss Huber is hiding something. No, man. Like, if they're dealing with something like this, you don't cast stones. That's
it's nobody's business.
It's I would not even so much as nobody's business. One of the things that even she said is that he appreciated his privacy. He didn't want it known that he was dealing with all this stuff.
Absolutely.
So, to try and say that they're hiding something is unbelievable and completely uncalled for and should not be done at this point.
Absolutely. Totally agree. You don't go off and do uncalled for journalism. That's what they call it in wrestling, whatever that really entails, especially for coming off a man's death who leave behind a family. You don't need to even. It's none of their business to even assume anything. Let it be. And yeah, that's totally uncalled for by far.
It's completely uncalled for, and if you Google it, you'll find which article I'm referring to because there's been a ton of responses to it thus far, and just again, don't do that. That's not at the time and place. And you don't know what's going on in their lives. And one of the things that has been expressed by several people close to him is that he was kind of a private person. He looked at the wrestling business as a job, so he tried to keep everything separate.
Absolutely.
So again, no, don't do that.
No, that ain't cool at all. And if these dirt sheets out there, there's limitations in this. Why even have much of a dirt sheet? I know they want to. Oh, we got to sell this and that. This news. I'm like, you know what? There are just certain limitations out there you just don't do. And we already have enough of that in regular news media. Don't need it. Obviously, dirt sheets been going on for a long time, unfortunately, but don't need that kind of negativity, especially towards a man's death and having let's say you left a family behind, and no call for that. But anyway,
yeah. So he is part of the many that passed in 2020. Some of the names include Bob Armstrong, Danny Hodge, Hana Kimura. If you don't remember Hana Kimura, she's the Japanese wrestler who committed suicide earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Howard Finkel, Kamala, Kevin Green, La Parka. I don't believe this is the WCW La Parka. I think it's
I remember that came up in conversation. It was from what I understood, it was not the same one.
Right. Pat Patterson, Road Warrior Animal, Shad Gaspard, which everyone knows how that was tragically happened, and Tommy Lister. So we lost
one more. We actually covered him.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, it's sorry. For kind of a friend of mine. So he wasn't like what you all major star known. His name. He went by the name Johnny Meadows. He was.
That's right.
More known as his real name as a singer-songwriter, Jonathan Jerome. We lost him months ago due reported it was COVID symptoms. That was how it was months ago. That was wasn't they say huge star, but he had some good matches, back many years ago. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Lost a number of wrestlers this year, and it's it's a sad situation, and Godspeed to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2020 has been a year, man.
Oh, it has been. It's. I was listening to The Rock this morning on his on Instagram. A lot of things said, was basically, becoming wiser and learning lessons about this year, and pretty much telling to go 2020 go to hell, pretty much. It's it's been that kind of year. I think a lot of people have kind of grown in different ways this year. It's been a rough year, obviously, for a lot of people. Some people I know personally, they didn't take much effect on it. Myself, it was a little, did much effect, but it was a rough year for a lot of people. And The Rock said it. For y'all listening, go see The Rock on Instagram. He had a great message today, this morning on this is what New Year, so go ahead and check it out. Nice message. But anyways, it's been crazy 2020. Thank God it's over with. We get New Year. Hopefully, a lot more great things. A lot of great things happen for a lot of people, for everybody.
Hopefully. So it's been kind of crazy when you think about this year because it kind of went fast, but kind of went slow at the same time.
Yeah, it was just I understand that.
So, for instance, one of the things that happened this year was Edge returning, and part of me was just like, was that even this year? But it was January of this year. Edge returns at the Royal
Seems
Rumble.
like it forever ago. It was January this past year, and I was surprised and returned. No one expected that. It's just it's been like most of you said, it's kind of slow, but it's been also same a little bit fast too. But on it. back in January. Edge returned though.
Yeah, So the only reason this came up is I was talking with a friend of mine, and we're talking about the differences between TV shows and everything, and I'm like, yeah, at least last year Edge returned, and I go, wait, that was Royal Rumble. That was this year, so that's the only reason why I kind of like was fresh in the memory.
Yeah.
But this is also the same year that saw Goldberg beat the Fiend. Like, I'm sorry, I'm still salty about that.
I am. I just the sense that it made. Only thing I can understand is two different ways. Is that for one, I guess me talked about a while back, not even on this on this podcast. I don't recall we did at least, but anyways, is that you had the superhero versus the demon, or however you want to phrase it, and obviously the superhero won. And even the superhero was older age. I thought it made more sense maybe in his first run of WWE or back in WCW, but I just felt like being the momentum and the climb, that really good, I should say, momentum that the Fiend was on, and then Goldberg beat him in obviously a very short time. I just, that was what you're saying. Kind of a little bit salty about it a little bit, but I guess, and of course we're supposed to get a spear for spear. WrestleMania, that didn't happen, but
yeah, and then we get Strowman beating Goldberg, which it did nothing for Strowman. It did nothing for Goldberg. It was obviously just an audible because Roman couldn't wrestle.
Yeah.
To me, you could have put someone else in that spot besides Strowman. It would have been okay. Honestly, like, I would kind of like to see someone that wasn't a big guy beat Goldberg, and not necessarily beat him, like dominate, but beat him as in like too quick for Goldberg. Because Goldberg is a fast guy, but if you put someone like Finn or even AJ in there, I'm sure that they can find a way to maneuver around him.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's what the best showing, what the best decision, but I guess when you have to do something on the fly, so to speak, I guess that's where they felt that they were at. I just, like I said, didn't do. I guess in your own, I guess you want to say professional goals, maybe that'd been cool for Braun to do, but especially at WrestleMania. But like I said, as far as really doing a huge favor, I wouldn't, as far as call it as something that built a lot of major momentum, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it was kind of wasted. It was wasted because they allowed the Fiend to kind of have a nick in his armor by letting someone like Goldberg beat him.
Yeah, that was rough call. Rough deal there.
But I mean, the positive side from WrestleMania, McIntyre does beat Brock Lesnar and does look like a dominant force, which ended up being not a great run for McIntyre, but it was a pretty good run.
For the winning the title and everything, talking about?
Winning the title and holding on to the title, yeah.
I thought I was ready. I think he owned the year. Honestly, I thought it just, for me, my eyesight, my view. I think he did is great in my opinion. But I think
it wasn't necessarily a hit on him. It's the fact that honestly, I don't think he should have dropped the belt.
No, it's we can toss that around enough. I mean, as far as Orton winning the title from him, months ago, it was I guess they wanted to kind of stir the pot a little bit, give Orton another title win, I would say. But that is what it is. I think that with McIntyre, what I believe they could have some better opponents, or at least better storylines, I should say.